Hello to everyone and welcome to our special live broadcast from War and Politics studio. Tonight we're gathered to witness a momentous occasion in American history, the inauguration of Donald Trump as the President of the United States. This marks the beginning of a new chapter in the nation's leadership with great expectations and challenges ahead. We will bring you live coverage from the heart of Washington, D.C., where history is being made, as well as expert analysis and insights into the significance of this event. Stay with us as we follow this historic moment, which will undoubtedly shape the future of the United States and the world. Catherine Gibson, reporter for Voice of America's News Center in Washington, D.C., with us today. Catherine, glad to see you.
Great to be with you.
Catherine, Donald Trump is sworn in as 47th U.S. president. What is the general atmosphere in Washington, D.C.? What is known at this time?
Well, we've just heard the inaugural speech from the 47th President of the United States, Donald Trump, just after he was sworn inside the U.S. Capitol Rotunda. They moved the ceremony indoors, as you may know, because of the extreme cold here in Washington, D.C. It's traditionally a ceremony that's held outside, but today we moved indoors, a much smaller ceremony. It couldn't accommodate as many guests. But still, there was a lot of excitement inside the Capitol Rotunda as Trump gave his speech outlining some bold policy proposals for the next 4 years in the United States.
Catherine, in what ways did Trump's inauguration differ from his previous one? And international leaders, in what ways did Trump's inauguration differ from his previous one? And what were the major changes in tone or style?
Well, I think so far we heard very similar themes from President Trump in relation to his first term as president. He expressed concern about the amount of undocumented immigrants coming into this country. He talked about securing the southern border, building the wall, and said that he would shortly sign executive orders doubling down on those ideas.
What role did political figures, celebrities, and international leaders play in the inauguration, and how did this shape the overall atmosphere?
That's right. So even though it was a smaller gathering than expected because of the size of the Capitol Rotunda, we saw a lot of special guests, including the Vice President of China, the first time a senior Chinese leader has been a witness in person to a U.S. presidential inauguration. We also saw some famous billionaires here in the United States, Jeff Bezos of Amazon, Elon Musk of X, formerly known as Twitter. A lot of those very familiar faces here in the United States were sitting in the front rows as Trump was sworn in.
Catherine, have you had the chance to speak with any attendees? What are their thoughts on Trump's return?
Personally have not, but it's very in Washington, D.C., remember? So the foot traffic isn't quite as much as it would be for a presidential inauguration. The people I have seen in passing are very excited, wearing the usual Trump gear, the MAGA red hats, wearing shirts proclaiming their allegiance to Trump, and they're very excited. Some of them have traveled a very long way to be here in Washington, D.C. today.
Catherine, how do local authorities ensure security and public safety during this event?
Well, we're used to very high security events here in Washington, D.C., and we've been seeing the fencing going up around the U.S. Capitol for a couple of weeks now. We have strong security from all sorts of police forces brought in from around the country, the Secret Service. This is one of the highest security events possible, and so far it has passed without incident.
Catherine, what is the media's role in covering this inauguration, given the political climate? How do you think?
Well, you know, we have a wide and varied media environment here in the United States, not just with traditional networks, but also with social media and a range of citizen journalism. And it's going to be from all perspectives. We have a free and open press here in the United States, and that is something that has been a cherished part of our democracy, that airs different viewpoints, that provides balanced journalism so that voters can make up their minds about the facts.
Catherine, what were the key moments from Donald Trump's inauguration ceremony? I mean, were there any significant policy promises made during this inauguration speech?
Well, certainly I would go back to those promises about immigration executive orders, which we should be seeing more details about in the next hour or so. Then we can discuss them in further detail. But he made some of his usual broad, sweeping promises to protect the American border and to stop the flow of undocumented immigrants into the United States.
Catherine, thank you so much for all information. I think that we can speak with you a little bit later. So I need to say that Catherine Gibson, reporter for Voice of America's news center in Washington, D.C., was with us today. So Catherine, thank you so much. And I need to say that the audience stay tuned as we provide you with detailed analysis and updates on this significant event that will shape the future of the United States and its role in the world. So thank you for joining us, and we look forward to sharing this historic moment with you.
Absolutely. Good to be here.